The United States and South Korea are on high alert after a new threat from North Korea. Today, state TV announced that the North was ready to fire nuclear missiles on the South. The latest warning comes a day before Secretary of State John Kerry is expected to arrive in Seoul. NBC News Chief Foreign Affairs Correspondent Andrea Mitchell is live in Seoul for us. And Andrea, what are you hearing from officials about these latest threats?
The window seems to be open at any time. We would expect a daytime launch. That is what they generally do in North Korea for maximum effect so that more people can see what they're trying to show off, which is their military power. This is a lot of public relations and a lot of bluster. At least that has been the game in the past. What is unknown, Chris, is this new young leader, barely 30 years old, not very much known about him. What we don't know are his intentions. Is he just trying to consolidate his power with the military generals who really are believed to be running the country? Or a year into his leadership, just about a year ago when he took over control of the Communist Party, one of his many titles, is he trying to do something different, something that his father and grandfather, whose national days are going to be celebrated within the next couple of days, did not do? They blustered for effect. They blustered also to get grain, to get fuel, to win concessions from the West. What we don't know is if this is the same posture or if this is really a serious threat.
And so what, Andrea, will be the mission of Secretary of State John Kerry when he gets there to Seoul tomorrow?
The Secretary of State has just concluded meeting with all the foreign leaders, the G8 foreign ministers in London. They declared as part of their summary statement that they reject the threats. They will not deal with North Korea in this fashion. They are open to dialogue, to negotiation. And interestingly, the South Korean leader of reunification said today that they should have dialogue, negotiation with the North about reopening that joint cooperative factory economic zone, which had been shut down by the North. So there is the possibility, at least from South Korea and certainly from the G8 and Secretary Kerry as he approaches here, for North Korea to get serious and sit down at the table. But there will be no concessions in response to the threat of another missile test.
Is that a key sign that they're looking for there? We had talked, I think, last week about this factory closing down and the economic impact on the North.
Exactly.
It would be significant, right?
That is significant. They closed it down a couple of days ago, and there were 53,000 North Korean workers in the factory. They need the hard currency from this, much more than the thriving economy here in South Korea. So this was a real rejection of any kind of dealing on an economic level. The real hope that Kerry and the rest of the West has is that China will join in and do something more than rhetoric. The Chinese have gone a little bit farther, have told the North to step back, but they want to see some evidence that China is withdrawing economic support from North Korea and is no longer propping up the North Korean regime. And that is yet to be seen. And Kerry is going to be here, then he goes to Beijing. We'll be traveling with him to China this weekend, then on to Tokyo. The Russians also were, of course, in that G8 meeting, and they support this approach.
NBC's
Chris?
Andrea Mitchell, thank you so much, reporting from